everyone. This is Alchemy with Ashley, and let's see, still a little bright, so one just 1 second. Okay, I can see better. I'm just gonna tag some people on the Facebook group. So, as you are joining, just let me know if you saw the first video I did of the first biological law. And let me know you're here. Say hi, leave some emojis, how you're doing. I would love to hear from you. So I am going to tag everyone, and let's see, sorry, this takes a minute. Okay, well, I tagged a bunch of you. Just gonna go into the group and let everyone know that I'm live. So if you are seeing that, jump on. And we'll get started in just a minute. Okay, let me see. So I will be looking at my laptop for questions and comments. So let me know when you have questions, comments, and I will check in with the chat over here. And today the reason why I chose this topic is a lot of you guys are new in this group. And so I kind of want to give you a chance to learn more about German New Medicine, the overview, and the 5 biological laws, because that's an important foundation to kind of build from and go from to understand your symptoms and understand all of it. So yeah, so I guess we'll get started. And also, if you're watching the replay, let me know if you have questions. You can leave them in the chat, or you can also leave a post in this group and let me know of any questions, any symptoms that you're currently having, or a loved one that you are curious what the German New Medicine perspective is on them. And yeah, I would just love to be a support for you in whatever you are working on healing, and be a guide for you and just help you to understand the German New Medicine perspective, because it is life-changing, mind-blowing, and you're gonna love it. So the first biological law is called the Iron Rule of Cancer. And Dr. Hammer, who came up with German New Medicine and the 5 biological laws, basically who just discovered it, because these biological laws are ancient, very ancient. So he's the one who put it together. So he was a doctor from Germany, hence the name German New Medicine. And he noticed that, and he was very healthy. He exercised, he ate well, he was mentally healthy, physically healthy. And so he noticed a connection when his son unexpectedly died from complications of a gunshot wound, and Dr. Hammer himself developed testicular cancer, which from the G&M perspective is a loss conflict. And so once Dr. Hammer noticed this in himself, he started looking into it with his patients, and because he was a medical doctor, he was able to have a lot of people to talk with and do case studies on, and he found that 100% of the time, everyone with a cancer diagnosis had some type of trauma, shocking event several months before their diagnosis. Every single person, whether that was a divorce, a death, a car accident, a different diagnosis, every single person had something happen that was unexpected, that was shocking, and was over their emotional threshold. And so that's why he calls the first law the iron rule of cancer, because he first studied cancer patients. And that every significant special biological program starts from a shocking event. And like I just mentioned, this shocking event could be something what we would name as like shocking or, traumatic. So it could be a car accident, loss of a loved one, getting divorce papers served, a breakup with someone, losing your kid getting ill, you getting a diagnosis from a medical doctor. But it could be something smaller. It could be a comment that someone says to you or you hear behind your back. It could be an argument. It could be, something your boss says to you that you're not getting this raise that you were looking forward to, that was kind of like you were expecting it, and it was kind of the next step in your role at your job, and you didn't get the raise. It could be someone lashing out at you, someone being physically abusive to you all out of nowhere. I had that with several patients when I worked at the hospital. I worked on a neuro unit, and so I had a lot of combative patients, and so it was never a dull moment. That's for sure. So it could be literally anything that is shocking or unexpected that's over your emotional threshold. And so this shocking event, and it affects the psyche, which is different than the brain. So it affects the psyche, the brain, and the organ, all three at the same time. And so the psyche assigns meaning to the shocking events, and it determines which program is initiated. So when you get that diagnosis from the doctor, when you're in the doctor's office, you don't know what kind of conflict you could start until you see symptoms. And so your psyche is kind of taking in all the information, is kind of like assessing, taking a mental picture, and as this is happening, your psyche is determining which program is going to be initiated. So, and as you are joining, just say hi in the comments. We're going over the first biological law. So, and then it affects the brain, which in the brain, the shocking event impacts a specific area of the brain. And that's what's so different about German New Medicine compared to a lot of other holistic modalities or ways of looking at symptoms, is because it's very specific. So each part of our brain is correlated to different organs in our body, different layers, and we'll go over this in another video. But the oldest parts of our brain, so like the brain stem and back here, like the cerebellum and the brain stem, are connected to the oldest types of biological programs. So you think about what do you need to keep you alive? You need to be able to breathe. You need to be able to eat and reproduce. And so then adding on different layers, the newer parts of our brain are correlated to the newer conflict shocks. So that's kind of a whole nother topic. And then, so it affects the psyche, which determines which program is initiated. And then the brain, which specifically which part of the brain is impacted, is called a Hammer focus. And so you can see it on CT scans, on MRI scans, and the location and the size of the Hammer focus is showing where it's coming from, which program is initiated, and then how intense the conflict shock was. So, hi Diana. And so what is really interesting is that you can just look at someone's CT or MRI scan and be able to see these Hammer focus, or foci, I guess you would say in the plural, and you can see which conflicts this person has, which symptoms they've had or they've healed or they currently have, and it's really cool. And for me especially, because I worked as a nurse in neurology and I looked at a lot of CT scans, a lot of MRI scans, it was all about the brain. Learning about this in German New Medicine was just like, wow, this is so cool, and like it's all scientifically based, and it's not all woo-woo, which I do enjoy the woo-woo. But yeah, you can see on people's brain scans which conflicts they have active and even which ones they've healed, which is really cool. And then it affects the organ. So the brain tells the corresponding organ from when exactly the event happens, which program to run. And so that organ is affected. And so I'll give you an example. One of the main conflicts that I've healed that was reoccurring for me was acne, which affects the skin, the corium skin, which is one layer down of the skin layer. So it's like epidermis and the dermis corium skin. And so it's like the second layer in. And so the organ that was affected for me with a feeling soiled or feeling attacked conflict was the skin. And so any organ can be affected. You can have the heart being affected with, different heart problems. You can have the liver being affected with hepatitis or with liver cancer. And so literally any organ in the body, your eyes, your nose, even like one part of your body, your muscles, your bones, your spine, your stomach, your intestines, your colon, your breasts, your feet, literally anything can be affected by some type of conflict shock, and we just don't know. And usually, like, each individual has patterns, and they're kind of predisposed towards certain conflict shocks, which correlate to certain symptoms. And so, so you can have like a localized conflict. So, for instance, when I worked as a nurse, I was working with this particular patient that he had some neurological deficits and was not functioning at full mental and emotional capacity, basically. I don't remember exactly what was wrong with him, but it was not, there was a screw loose. Not everything was quite up to par, and so he was a very paranoid person. And so I was developing rapport with him as his nurse, and we got along really well, and I was trying to get him to like eat some dinner or something, or go down and take a test, get a CAT scan or something. And so I was very close in proximity to him, only a few feet away, and I was like, hey, you know, Joe, it's time to eat some dinner, and then we're gonna go down later, and I'll go downstairs with you, and we're gonna get this test done, and blah, blah, blah. And he was like, okay, cool, and like, he was super chill, and then all of a sudden, something flipped, and he literally kicked me in the chest. I fell back, almost hit my head, like almost had a concussion or like a cracked skull fracture. And it was very shocking. I wasn't expecting this and at all. And so because I had this pattern of breaking out, so having acne, of feeling soiled, feeling attacked, I developed a huge pimple like the size of a quarter right here in the exact spot that he kicked me. Because he kicked me super hard. It was a shocking event, you know, it was unexpected. It was over my emotional threshold. It was like the end of my shift, and I was just ready to go home, and then this happens. And so what was really interesting is when I developed this huge pimple, it was very painful, very red, very swollen, and I was like, wow, it's so crazy that our bodies are so good at adjusting to our environments. Because when you have a pimple, it's like all the extra cells are like a little shield. So it's like a little skin shield, and so your body's like, okay, you got hurt this time, I'll put up a little skin shield so that next time if you get kicked in that, you know, if you get hurt in that area, you'll be safer. You'll be, you know, more able to deal with it again. And so, so that was definitely like a localized conflict, and it wasn't related to like my partner or my mom or kid, which has to do with like the left, right, the handedness stuff. And then you can also have a generalized conflict, which affects the person as a whole. And so conflicts and symptoms like osteoporosis, which is a self-devaluation conflict, and it affects the core of who you are. And so you don't think that you have value as a person. Maybe you've lost your role as a mom or a caretaker, and you don't have a job anymore, and so you kind of feel listless and kind of useless, and you don't have a purpose anymore. And so you devalue yourself to your core. And so this causes the bones to break down, and especially like in the spine. That's why you have the forward head posture and the hunched shoulders, and you kind of lose inches and you shrink, or you know, get shorter. And so yeah, you can have the localized or the generalized or specific recurring symptoms that occur in either the left or the right side of the body. And yeah, so let me just check in with the comments, see if anyone has any questions. Okay, cool. Glad you joined for a hot second, Diana. Good to see you. So I think we're gonna wrap soon. So let me know if you're watching the replay, if this makes sense, and if you have any questions, please let me know. And then also moving forward, I will be keeping these videos on Tuesdays, but it is gonna be 2:30 or 3 p.m. my time. My work schedule changed a little bit, so I'll set a poll in here as well to see what time works better for you guys, because I want to have the most people join the live videos to get the most out of what I'm sharing and all of that. So I will be ending with a short meditation. So if you want to get comfortable in whatever seat you're in, whether you're on the floor or a chair, and I like to sit all the way back in my chair. And for this meditation, we're going to place our palms face down on top of your thighs. Just feel the ground beneath you. your thighs beneath your hands. Feel the earth supporting you. Just take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Just notice, maybe for the first time today, how your breath is there for you. And it always has been. We just aren't always aware. And just like our breath is always here for us, our bodies are always for us. They've never been against us, even in the most trying of times and the most painful symptoms. And I just want you to start to imagine this light blue light coming in from above, and just surrounding your whole body with this light blue light and energy. Just feel how it's holding you, supporting you, and letting you know that everything is okay and everything is working out for you. And as you feel this light, just encourage you to send a message of safety to your body, that you are okay, that you are safe, you are healed, you are whole, and everything is working out for you. And as you do this, just feel this light penetrate into your cells, into your body, and it is just sending that message of safety and of wholeness, healing, and letting yourself know that you're okay. You are okay. You always have been. And it's just this reminder that you are. So as you feel this blue light energy just penetrating into every single cell in your whole entire body, sending yourself this message of safety, just want you to bring your hands over your heart. Feel your heart beating. Just feel this amazing organ that pumps blood to your rest of your organs and the rest of your body, keeps you alive, feeling strong and powerful. We're going to take a few deep breaths in together, in through the nose and out through the mouth. We're going to do 3 in a row. So inhale through the nose. Exhale. Inhale through the nose. Exhale. Last time. Inhale through the nose. Exhale. Hopefully you feel a little lighter, a little more grounded, maybe a bit calmer. You just are reminded that you are supported, you are always taken care of, and that truly things are always working out for you, even if it doesn't always feel like it. Just bring your hands down, back to your thighs. Maybe move your fingers Wiggle your neck from side to side. Blink your eyes open. And hopefully that meditation was helpful to you and maybe helped you get a little bit more relaxed and calm through this chaos we call life. And I just want to thank you for joining me today on this live video. And I am having some holiday deals coming up with my VIP coaching programs and my acne healing group coaching program, and I would love to have you in any of my programs. So please let me know if you are interested in joining, and I would love to have you. So again, this is Alchemy with Ashley. Thank you so much for joining, and if you're watching the replay, thank you for watching the replay. I see you, and I look forward to connecting even more. Have a lovely Tuesday.